What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hey, Nathan. My Wednesday was okay. I worked, came home, ate dinner, watched GH. That's about it. Make sure my audio is working. Yeah, audio is good. Sweet. Yeah, how are y'all doing? Hope all is well. Sorry guys, I am trying to get back to... There we go. Hey Sandy. Sorry, I had accidentally closed my chat there. But how are we doing? How are we enjoying GH so far this week? We had 3 returns and one of them doesn't look like the other. Oh man. Yeah, this is going to be another chill stream, although I do, depending on if y'all want to, I have at least one clip lined up to react to that relates to the content or of this topic. Sandy, you said, I'm loving Spencer and Trina's storyline. I'm loving the Ice Princess too, but I'm not just loving their aspect to it. I'm really enjoying the story as a whole. Honestly, Felicia and Tracy and Holly were so entertaining. I can't wait to see more of them. But yeah, how we feeling? How we feeling, guys? Tracy is back. Love her. Her hair, you guys. I was not expecting Jane Elliott's hair to be so long, but oh, she's rocking it. I feel like Jane Elliott is like fully embracing retirement, and she's like, I love that she's just natural. She's letting her hair just go gray. I don't know. It just seems like the ultimate power move to just let yourself be yourself. Especially in the soap opera world where, you know, things like Botox and things like that kind of fly a lot. It's nice to see Jane just kind of being so fully herself. Nathan, you said you were shocked when they recasted Ethan. Read somewhere on another live stream Nathan Parsons turned down returning as Ethan. Wow, I'm actually surprised. You will give the new actor a chance. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, of course I was definitely shocked that Nathan Parsons didn't return. But, like, everyone was just like, oh my god, this is the worst, he's awful, in the first episode, and all he did was lift the bag over his head. And I'm like, you know, I'm always willing to give the new actors a chance. I find that he's not, you know, he's not like, I don't know. Everyone's acting like he looks so completely different, but I don't know. He's just blonde. And it's not like people don't dye their hair blonde. They're like, well, Ethan's not blonde. I'm like, well, he could be. Not everyone keeps the same hair color. They need to send in Felicia, Holly, and Tracy to rescue everyone on the Haunted Star. Well, they're probably closer to the Haunted Star than everyone else is at this point, right? Because I think we can assume that they're near Venezuela. Because everyone's kind of having that theme or mentioning Venezuela. But yeah, I loved seeing them all interact together. And it, you know, first of all, having Felicia, Holly, and Tracy in the same scene, that's gold already. That's gold already. I had such a fun time watching that episode. How do I like Maxie's dark hair? I don't know. I don't hate it. Oh man, I think they could have styled it better. But I don't mind her with like dark hair. What about you guys? What do you think of A, Maxie's hair, B, Tracy's hair, C, Ethan's hair? Emma Sam still looks gorgeous. My gosh. But yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying this week so far. Kind of off topic, but still GH related. What do we think of Liz interacting with Austin? Because they haven't really shared scenes at all, have they? Like, they shared the scenes when he first became Austin, like, probably just as a, you know, a nod to Frizz fans, but, like, it was weird seeing them interact today. I didn't hate it, but it was weird. Just because, like, they've never interacted before, I don't think. Not this much. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think, and how you guys feel about the Ethan recast, how you guys feel about Tracy's entrance, how you feel about Holly's re-entrance. First of all, in my opinion, it's about damn time. I feel like they announced that Jane Elliott was returning so long ago, and it just felt like it was taking forever. So I'm glad we're finally seeing her. Nathan, you said, I don't mind Maxie's hair. It looks good on her. As for Austin and Liz, why did they kill off Franco? Better yet, why did ABC allow Franco to come back with RH in the role? Yeah, that's where it all started, really, Nathan. They should have never brought Franco in to begin with. No one wanted him back. Roger did his best to make it work, and, you know, for some it did, but I wasn't one of them. So... Maxie looks older. Liz has more chemistry with Austin. So does Liz have more chemistry with Austin than Ava does? That's the next question. That's a follow-up question. Hey, Kaiwan. Where am I maxing here at all? Oh, I think you're referring to Maxie, right? I think it makes her look a little older. I don't know. I think if it was styled a bit better, it would look, I don't know. If they like shortened it, I feel like she could rock like a brunette, but like head bob, like what do they call those? Like those short haircuts, those like little pixie cuts, you know? I feel like Kirsten Storms could rock that in brunette. The new Ethan, I don't like the way he looks. I think he looks fine, but I think it's too early to judge his acting yet, because we've heard him say like one line, and he seems to have the Australian accent. Whether that's authentic or not, I don't know. I didn't really look too much into the actor yet. I forget his name. I think the actor's name is James. Let me re-look it up quickly. Andrea, you said, I am happy this week with Sabrina's storyline. That's good. Trina getting caught, though, y'all. My God. Seeing that coming, though. Stealing the damn walkie-talkie. I don't know why she did that. Okay, actor's name is James Ryan. James Ryan. Okay, let's see. I'm just clicking on a random article at this point, guys, just to say a little tidbit. Yeah, Nathan Parsons previously played the role of Ethan since 2009 and stayed with the ABC daytime drama series through spring of 2012. Parsons returned several times, including for appearances in 2013, 2015, and last in 2020. ABC confirms to Soaps in Depth that Ryan has indeed taken over the role of Holly's MIA son. The question is, how long will Ethan be on the canvas? Just wrap the story arc with his mom, Holly, or might he stay in Port Charles? Stay tuned. Yeah, to that end, what do you guys think? Like, would you guys, depending on how you guys feel about him down the road, once we see him a bit more in the role, would you want Ethan to stay on canvas? And then the follow-up is, would you want to see Ethan with Christina? Because they had a fandom back then. And you know, could it work with a recast? Nathan and Lexi had great chemistry. Taiwan, you said you're getting a little tired of the whole Spencer storyline. I'm still liking it. Sandy, you said Ava has chemistry with everyone. That's true. Maura West is just a great actress, and I think that she does well with all of her scene partners, whether they're her friend, her enemy, or love interest. She makes it work. And the best actors make it work no matter what. Yeah, James Ryan. He said it's been a slow week, but a fast one too. Interesting. Do you think Nina will call the police on Carly now, especially tomorrow? I don't know. Is that what we think is happening? I'll have to wait to see until tomorrow's scenes between them. Andrea, you are very happy with Trina and Spencer this week. Sandy, Sasha needs a new man. Sasha does need a new man. Ooh, are you insinuating that we should have Ethan and Sasha? Because, interesting. Hey, Angel. If he's going to stay long term, fine. Just don't have Ethan just be there with no storyline like 50 plus others. Yeah, that's true. That's fair, Nathan. Just finished watching GH. Yeah, I was watching it pretty late too. That's why I really didn't set up my live stream until like 9. What did you think? What did you think, Angel? Also, how do you feel about new Ethan? How did you enjoy Holly and Tracy's returns to the screen? What are your thoughts on Jane Elliott's long, luscious gray hair and new Ethan's blonde hair and Maxie's brunette hair? Ethan and Sasha. Yeah, Carly was just thinking about trying to see eye to eye for Nina, but I don't know. I feel like Nina might actually ruin that. But it doesn't take much to like push Carly's buttons, you know? Especially when it comes to Nina. Not that I can blame her, but like, girl. they both need to just like trying to convince Michael and Willow to invite Nina. Yeah, like I think she was gonna debate it, but I feel like Nina's gonna do something tomorrow that's gonna throw her off, and it's gonna make some drama for the wedding. Ethan, actor with blonde hair, ew, reminds me of uncooked ramen. Oh my god. Man. It is really, really blonde. It is like really like bright blonde. Bleach blonde. I don't know, but I feel like it's on par with something like the character of Ethan would do, would just like randomly like dye his hair like that. If he was going through a phase, you know. So I don't know how you guys felt, but the last time we seen Ethan return, I felt like he was very un-Ethan like. Did anyone else get that vibe? Like when Nathan Parsons last played him in 2020 when they were looking for Holly. I feel like the character was just so different. And I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. I don't know. So I'm hoping that, you know, now that James has taken over, maybe he's watched a thing or two of Ethan from the past and maybe rolling with that. We'll see. It's weird seeing Tracy with long hair. Yeah, but you know what? It's very much a Jane Elliott thing, and I can respect that. I think she's realized, like, she don't need to do anything. She don't need to dye her hair, cut it, do whatever to be on the soap. Jane is a queen, and however she wants to wear her hair is how she wants to wear her hair. And I think that, you know, GH and Frank Valentini probably just respect that. Because when you've been in the acting industry as long as Jane has, like, girl has acted with Elvis, okay? Girl was in a movie with Elvis. Great movie, by the way. I forget what it's called, but I'll look it up later. But yeah, oh, it was such a good movie, and she was so good in the role. She played a nun, you guys. How is Holly going to pay for Ethan? I doubt she even had $1 million, let alone 10. Yeah, I think she was just winging it, to be honest. She was hoping that she could just flag it and just you know. Who pays millions just to unalive someone? Unhinged crazy people. Like Victor, I don't know. Yeah, like you would think, I don't know. Would that just be like a practice thing? You just want to practice killing a human? Think almost saying that these were Lisa better than General Hospital. Days of Our Lives. I don't know. I ain't jumping ship at this point. I got no time to start a new soap, y'all. For example, Jamie Lunar played Lisa Colby on All My Children, and she had straight red hair. She did just fine replacing Marcy Walker. Yeah, like I mean, listen, if we're referring to Ethan again, I don't think, I'm just whatever about the hair. I don't care. I'm not that nitpicky with a character's hairstyle. Like, if the actor is blonde, he's blonde. It's not like, and even if he is, like, he could, again, Ethan could have just dyed his hair. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if James Ryan is, like, actually a blonde, because that's, like, bleach blonde, y'all. I don't know. I haven't seen, let me see if I can find other pictures of him. Maybe he's always been blonde, but I don't know. I don't know much about him yet. James Ryan. Yeah, he seems like he's always been blonde, but I can live with that, honestly. And I guess it kind of works because, you know, Luke was blonde too. Angel, you said, do you love Maxie's brown hair? I remember when Kirsten debuted the new hair on Instagram a while back. Yeah, I remember her doing that on Instagram, so it was only a matter of time before we were going to see it on GH. And I like the little thing of, like, she kind of left mid, like, hairstyle, or mid getting her hair done. That's why it's so dark. That little excuse. Angel, you said it looks like Emma Samms is doing better with the long haul COVID. I hope so, but, you know, they still had her sitting down for most of those scenes, so we can't be too certain. He can fall in love with Trina. It's not happening, Kaiwan. Let it go. They are going all in with Sprina, whether you like it or not. Angel, you said blonde. Plus, Ethan's way too old for Trina. Angel, you said blonde boys aren't my top pick on men. Ethan's blonde looks unnatural on him. Yeah, I mean, looking at older pictures, like, he definitely doesn't seem to go that blonde typically. Like, he's pretty blonde, but he's not, like, light blonde. But also, maybe it just comes down to the time of the year, too, because don't, like, isn't it with blonde hair, like, sometimes it's, like, dirty blonde, sometimes it's, like, bright blonde, and it just depends. I mean, you know, I can't, and also Angel, I can't say I'm into blondes either. I'm trying to think back to, like, any blonde person I've had a crush on. And I can probably count on one hand, honestly. That's not, and that goes through, like, my entire life. I'm like, I think I can count on one hand how many blonde dudes I've been into. If he can kind of replace Brando. He does look like Brando. You're right. He does look like the actor that played Brando. What was his name? Johnny Wachter, I think. New Ethan looks like a surfer dude. Yeah, but Ethan's hair was like that too, though. Nathan Parsons' hair was like that once upon a time. Maybe slightly longer than James. but very similar. But yeah, I'm giving it a minute before I pass judgment on James Ryan's performance, because we saw virtually nothing. He's had one line, so he sounded Australian in it. I don't know if he's an Australian actor or an American one, just throwing on the accent. But Nathan Parsons was also not Australian, right? There are different variations. Natural blondes, platinum blondes, weird me out. Reminds me of horror movies. Why horror movies? Man. So I'm kind of scrolling along as while I talk to you guys, just to see if I can find anything interesting about the actor, any topics. But yeah, I don't know. I'm reserving judgment on his performance. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did freak out, and I was disappointed to not see Nathan Parsons, only because I was anticipating that he would return. There was nowhere that that like no expectations that you would see a recast Ethan. Hey Brooklyn. Trina should have left that walkie-talkie. I know. I'm so mad. Like someone with platinum blonde hair will just be standing in the hallway, not moving. Nathan Parsons is from Australia, but I don't remember. I thought he talked. I don't think he had an accent though in real life. Or did I make that up? I thought for sure he had an American accent, but mind you, I've not seen him in Roswell, so I don't know. I thought the accent was something that he just put on, because I've never watched an interview with Nathan, so Maybe all right. So he was born in South Australia, but raised in Colorado and Austin, Texas. So he probably doesn't have... The accent is in real life. Okay. Follow him on social media. Okay. All right. Well, good to know anyway. Any clips of what, Kaiwan? He must not have been available to play Ethan because of Roswell. But Roswell's over though. Did it not end? Because from what I heard, Nathan Parsons turned down the offer to return. Would be interesting to see Sasha and Ethan hook up. Sasha needs to be single for a while. Yeah, like I'm not going to say no to a possible Ethan and Sasha thing. And also, we don't know if he's going to be a regular role on the show either. You know what I mean? Like... Tracy's back for a while, I think, right? She's kind of decided to go out of retirement to do this for the 60th year. But we know that Holly's not going to be on for long, and so Ethan doesn't really need to be long either. And even within the storyline, there's no real reason for him to return to Port Charles. There is a convention coming up for Roswell. Yeah, but I did see an article that said that he declined the offer. But yeah, selfishly, I wouldn't mind Christina and Ethan giving it a go again if they bring Ethan back to Port Charles. Mostly because I just want Lexi to have a damn story as Christina. You know what I mean? Yeah, there we go. You'd rather see Christina and Ethan than Sasha and Ethan. Yeah, me too. Like, if they're going to bring him to Port Charles, I think that Christina and Ethan needs to be the first thing that we see if he comes back to Port Charles. But again, I'm not really holding out hope that they're gonna bring the character on, and because why? You know what I mean? Holly's not gonna be on the show beyond this story arc, so there's not really a reason for Ethan to be. None of his siblings are on the show anymore. Luke is not on the show anymore, so what would he be doing there? You know what I mean? So I'm not really hopeful that he's gonna be a regular character. Ethan and Christina would be just wrong. He knew her as a teen when he was an adult, giving grooming vibes. Yeah, but so here's my thing with that is that they, like, realistically, the characters, even though she was like 17, she wasn't that far off because Ethan was like 21 years old. So it's like a 4 years apart thing. But who knows? Who knows? Plus, Christina's a completely different person than she once was. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I don't think he will say there's too many characters. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, I really don't see him staying. He's just gonna ride the 60th wave for a little bit, and then as soon as his role, the really the point in this story was for Holly to rescue Ethan. He's been rescued, so there's not much more need for him. I think if there's any chance at all that Tony Geary comes back as Luke for a bit, he'll be a part of that. But we know Luke isn't gonna return. Okay, I don't think Luke is going to return at all, but if he returns, it's going to be for a very short time. I would be pleasantly surprised to see him return, because killing off the character is really wrong, in my opinion. He would have a Spencer on the show other than Carly and Bobby. I mean, yeah, but, like, he wasn't close to Carly or Bobby. So, like, what's his reason for sticking around? Like, the people that he was closest to, family-wise, are all not there. Except Tracy would be for however long she's sticking around for, But, I don't know. I just don't see it. Because, first of all, Ethan is a bit of a drifter. That's always been his character. He lives for the adventure. He loves to go on, capers, just like his mother, just like his father. He's not going to stick around town, really. We could unalive some dead weight to fit Ethan in. I don't know, I just don't see it. I can't really see a reason why they would. Sandy said, I would be happy if Luke came back for one day. He could come close to Bobby and Carly. I don't want him around Carly, y'all. Carly gets enough screen time without giving another character, to the show just to have him interact with her and have her interact with someone new. She's in every damn story already. And Bobby's not on enough to, justify bringing Ethan back. He's a tomcat. Oh, man. But yeah, no, I don't see it happening, guys. In all honesty, I really don't see Ethan coming back full time. They can bring him back if they ever decide to bring Lulu back. But until then, I just don't see it. But I feel like, at the very least, I want... If Ethan is not back long term, which I don't think he is, I do want him to have a scene with Christina. Just to, like, talk about their past. At the very least, Because they went through a lot when they were younger together. Especially, she blamed him for Kiefer beating her up. And, he was always, like, very protective of her. He's the one that rescued her from the beatdown in the first place. And he was very forgiving once the truth came out. And, she wrecked his life for a while. I just think that there needs to be a conversation now that they're both older and wiser. I'd like to see that at the very least. He could come back from Ace Sweeps. Do you mean Luke or Ethan? Glad Carly brought up the fact that how Ava can befriend Nina after Nina cut Avery out of Ava's body. I mean, yeah, she brought it up, but, Ava did say, I don't see the same disturbed woman that she once was. But she did reiterate, like, I didn't forget, but I just don't see that same woman. Again, I'm not Team Nina, but it is what it is. They bonded over dating awful Cassadine men that lie and deceit them. That's what bonded them in the first place. So that kind of made sense, Luke. Yeah, I'd love to see Luke return. Helena's returning from May Sweep, so we'll see. Do I think that Nina will call the police on Carly Friday's episode? I don't know. Maybe. Nina is still disturbed. She is still disturbed, but she's not mentally ill. There is a difference. Like, Nina, like, when you think about those days, Nina was batshit crazy mentally. Like, she wasn't just, like, a petty bitch. Like... That's what I feel like she is now, She's like, she's petty and she's immature, but I don't think she's mentally ill. Not like to the point that she was anyway. Like, she does some vile things for sure still, but she's not like drug someone and pull a baby out of a womb crazy. She did work on that part, and she did try to fix her life. And she did for a while, she became, the editor-in-chief of Crimson Magazine, and she was just fine for the most part until the frickin' Nixon Falls thing. Glad Michael invited Sonny to the wedding. Maybe they can end this feud. I mean, this feud is ridiculous in the first place. This feud should have really ended a long time ago. But I am curious because obviously this storyline's been kind of put off. But, like, the Pikeman thing is still in the air. And so is, Michael sending Dex to take Sonny down. And if Michael decides to back down on that, then it's a bit complicated for Dex because does he stay and work for Sonny? Or does he leave Port Charles and not work for Sonny anymore? Time will tell, you guys. Time will tell. This feud is far from over. Michael still wants to take Sonny down. Yeah, really, it's just Willow, and the fact that she could die is kind of like mellowing him for now. But I feel like something's going to happen to make him go all in. Something could happen to make him go all in against Sonny again. But I think what's gonna happen or how it's gonna play out is that obviously I do think that Obrecht is gonna be rescued and she's gonna get to Willow in time. We know Willow's not gonna die, so I think once that blows over, then they'll allow something to happen on screen that will kind of refuel his vendetta against Sunny. Even if it is something like Nina having Carly arrested for the SEC thing. But I think that we're going to have to wait for the Ice Princess story to wrap and for this illness story to wrap for Michael. Because things are at a standstill for that reason, honestly, because Michael has to focus on Willow and keeping her happy and loving her until she's either dead or better. So, not that he'd stop loving her. I'm just saying, you know, like, it needs to be, it needs to be at a place where it can take a back seat again, and he can focus on other aspects on his life now that he doesn't have to really worry. Nina will probably show up at the wedding and Willow will faint, or Nina will start trouble. God. I just, you know, I really hate that, like, I can see that happening, because they need to stop making Nina so freaking unlikable. Like, honestly, like, if they want people to like Nina, which I think that they probably want to, if they've been like sticking with Nina and Sunny for this long, then they need to have her grow the hell up a bit. Have a feeling that Tracy's going to catch Drew and Carly. I don't know, maybe. But I don't know if Tracy would necessarily care at this point, because I'm just going by the fact that Tracy's kind of removed herself, so to speak, from like the ELQ aspect. She's retired. She's living her best life. And yeah, she's going to be back in Port Charles for a while. But I think that more so has to do with kind of like her family being in crisis. And I don't think she's going to dip her toe in the ELQ pond again. Because Michael and Drew and Ned, they've kind of made their peace about the situation. I don't see Ned, you know, having a feud with Drew and Michael again anytime soon. Sandy said knowing Nina, she could have Carly arrested, thinking she could have time with Willow. Yeah, I mean, surely Nina's smart enough to know that if she's the one that gets Carly arrested, she ain't gonna have a relationship with Willow. For sure. Removing Carly from the picture is not gonna solve anything. Man. Oh, off topic, but what do we think of the revelation that Gregory has ALS? Because that was another reveal that we had this week. Fun fact, if you guys didn't know, the actor that plays Gregory once played a character with ALS on a show called Touched by an Angel, which was like kind of this, I want to say, Christian religious sort of primetime show back in the 90s. My mom and grandmother used to watch it all the time. By the way, apologies in advance. There is a hockey game tonight. Edmonton's team is playing. My grandmother's a big hockey fan, so if you hear her yelling, that's why. I've heard her a couple times. I don't know if you could hear her in the background, but I can't really tell how the game's going. She doesn't seem happy, so it's probably not going well. But yeah, as I was saying for the Gregory thing, I think, I don't know, that's heartbreaking. I have a friend that does have ALS, and he was this young back in the day, young spring healthy dude, and just happened out of nowhere, and now he's just permanently, sort of stuck like that. And he's got a loving husband that takes good care of him, and they seem to have accepted it because they are older. They're in their 50s. But it's just sad that could just happen to anyone. And there's no stopping it. That's so sad. Do you think this will ever come back? Do you mean Luke? I don't know. I don't see Tony Geary returning from Amsterdam. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see it. Tony's very set in his ways. And if they do somehow manage to convince him to come back, it's not going to be for very long. And they probably had to offer him something he couldn't refuse if he ends up doing it. Sandy said, that's sad. Let's get Willow well before we bring ALS. That will be too much. Well, I think Willow and Michael's story, they can't stretch it out much longer than they have now at this point. So I feel like she's going to get better soon. They got to rescue Obrecht first. It's just, I don't know. It's a tricky situation right now. They got to rescue Obrecht fast, But at the same time, I don't want the Ice Princess storyline to end so abruptly either. Like, get Obrecht out of there and back to Port Charles and have Sprina save the world from the Ice Princess once again. And have, like, Holly and Felicia and Tracy and Ethan and Luke, if he comes back, and Laura, Curtis, whoever wants to be in that story, let them all go at it. Like, just keep that storyline going and just send Obrecht back and have her save Willow. Angel, you said, I don't understand Willow's logic. She wants Michael to let go of his anger for Sunny for a day, but doesn't want to invite Nina. Yeah, I don't get that logic either. At the same time, I'm like, I don't blame her for not wanting Nina to be there, and there are more reasons for Sunny to be there than there are for Nina to be there. Yes, Nina's her mother, but they don't have a relationship where, where she'd want her to be there, and there's no other reasons within that sort of realm, aside from being Sunny's girlfriend, for Nina to really be there. But I do agree with you. I think that she should just suck it up. You can't have Sunny there and say, like, don't bring your girlfriend. Sunny, you can come alone. If I lived in Amsterdam, I would never come back. I don't think I would either, honestly. I really don't. I'd love to visit Amsterdam. I have not been there, but I'd love to visit it just to see what the vibe is, because I've heard so many stories from people that have been there, and I'm intrigued. I want to see what it's like. Angel, you said, I thought they were going to give Gregory a more livable or beatable illness. I thought he was going to be Alexis's new man. I don't know. It's interesting because, yes, they've been sharing a lot of screen times, but Either I'm not seeing the chemistry or I'm feeling friends vibes, and I feel like Alexis has been saying friends so often when it comes to him that she doesn't appear to have feelings for him. I don't know if I can say the same for Gregory necessarily, but if we go with the idea that he's known that he has ALS this whole time, he might have feelings and just doesn't want to put that burden on anyone at this point. Hey, Jacarius. Oh, Sandy, you think that Esme recognized Curtis today? I don't know. I didn't get that vibe. But we'll see. Time will tell. And I've been good, Jacarius. How about you? Why isn't Alexis and her girls in the Cassadine storylines? Because they've never been, really. When you think about it, they've not really been in most Cassadine storylines because Alexis disassociates from that family as a whole, typically, whenever she can, you know? She's made her own family, and it's always been like that, you know? Like, Christina's barely been a part of the Cassadine legacy. Same with Sam. And same with, Molly. She had a bit of an interest in the Cassadine history for a little bit in, 2009 or 10 or something? Or no, 2000... Kind of around the time that Irene Cassadine appeared, Helena's daughter. She had a bit of an interest in the Cassadine legacy then, but not since. And now she's a lawyer. So, that ship has kind of sailed. And obviously Victor doesn't care less about them either. Amsterdam sounds wild. The red light district, right? I visited. I don't know if I'd hook up over there and whatnot, but I'd probably take a peek, just out of curiosity. Sandy said you were in Amsterdam 10 years ago. It's beautiful. I really didn't want to come home. Coffee shops were great. See, I don't drink coffee, so that alone wouldn't sell me. But the nightlife and just hearing how laid back everyone that lives there seems, I want to see what that's like. 'Cause people are so uptight here, you know what I mean? On this end of the world, everyone's so uptight. I was watching For Ladies Only on YouTube. I saw young Gregory Harrison and said he was hot. He strikes me as he was probably a good-looking guy back in his glory days. I've been good. Yeah. Let us know how you feel about that, Jacarius, because we talked about that earlier. So you're disappointed that Nathan Parsons ain't returning as Ethan. Are you willing to give James Ryan a chance, the actor that plays him currently? Because I feel like people are quick to judgment, which I understand why, but we haven't seen him do anything, so I'm reserving judgment. I always give a recast a fair try, in my opinion. Laura has totally fallen for Esme. She has Laura wrapped around her finger. She does. I don't like that. I don't like that. Laura's always had a lot of compassion. I just really wished that, she had her guard up as much as Esme does. Spencer must not have heard of the world freezing story about his family. Yeah, I've always wondered. Yeah, I suppose now that he's older, I wonder if Laura's shared any of that. Yeah, I feel like she would have. But maybe I'm wrong. But they need to learn, I think in order for them to understand how to possibly defeat Victor, they need to know about the whole origins of the Ice Princess story. There's more than coffee. You can sit back and relax and smoke whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, I know what you mean. Well, to be fair, like, I don't know exactly what it's like in Amsterdam, drug use wise, but like, weed has been legal here for like a long time now in Canada. And Jakari said, I just don't know how I feel about the recast. I'm going to try to give him a chance. Yeah, that's all we can do, really. Like, we can't really go off of what we've seen. He barely had a line so far this week. The first episode, he stayed silent pretty much the whole time. And the second episode, you know, he had one line. Right when they escaped. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but, like, you know how when Tracy, Holly, Felicia, and Ethan left, like, they beat down some guards, but one guard ran away. So I wonder if that's going to factor in. Yeah, weed is legal in Canada. You didn't know that? Weed has been legal here. They legalized weed, like, Canada-wide. I want to say 2017 or 2018. It's been a few years. I think in Amsterdam, anything. That's what I heard too. Like, they've legalized most drugs over there. Yeah, we'd been legal in Canada for a long ass time. Y'all are just behind. And honestly, even when it wasn't legal, like, no one cared. Like when I think back to like when I was like early 20s, whenever it was 420, which by the way, happy 420s Eve, I guess. Like, they'd just let people smoke at the legislature building here in Alberta on the day. like, and no one cared. And there was police on the ground just kind of watching, but they didn't care. No one was arrested for having it. People were, you know, eating edibles and smoking weed. If you were like in the area of the legislature, like, you would just see the smoke from everyone that was there. Because that place would get jam-packed. Now no one really cares because it is legal. It's not like a big thing anymore, 420. But before it was a big thing to like go to the legislature and just smoke up and do whatever. I'm on my way, Sandy. Everything is legal in Amsterdam, man. I mean, not that really intrigues me, to be honest. I'm curious, like, what that does. Like, what's the vibe there? Is everyone just, like, high on meth? Like, you know what I mean? I just hate how weed smells. Yeah, I've never been a fan of the smell either. Like, I really don't smoke it that much. Like, I don't go out of my way to buy it. If someone offers to, you know, like, do you want a puff? Sure. But, like, because of that, I'm, like, an easy bake oven, you know? Like, it don't take much for me. So, and also, I just don't, like, you know, I don't like, people, a lot of my friends will do it at, like, concerts and stuff, but I don't want to do it at concerts, because it's, like, I feel like you just become so, like, laid back, and, like, and I, you know, most of the concerts I go to are, like, punk rock or heavy metal, so like I don't want to be like that at that kind of show. Sandy, you said you were just in California, came home with a bag of gummy bears. Nice. Oh man. Yeah, no. Canada been ahead in a few things, you know? I think, like, y'all just made gay marriage, like, legal not that long ago, and we did it, like, 10 years before, I think you guys did. So it is a lot more laid back here, I find. Angel, you said there was this nice blonde guy I met in college in my freshman year. He was nice, but I wanted to Febreze him every time he came up and complimented me. Oh, man. It's so funny because, like, in all honesty, my mom's a bigger smoker than I am. And, like, she'll smoke every day. And so, like, she'll go outside and smoke it because she's not, like, you know, she ain't going to hotbox the house. But, like, every time she comes in, it just hits me and I'm like, ah. Yeah. Like, I don't hate how it makes me feel depending on where I am, but I don't like the smell. But there are different smelling weed too, you know, that are less, I guess, in your face. And then there's edibles where you don't smell it at all. Okay, but we're getting off topic. We went from, like, we somehow went from GH to weed. Oh, it's only because of Amsterdam. I think legal or illegal, the people who want to do drugs will. Yeah, that's true. Like, I think, you know, at the end of the day, like, I think about it here. The difference is it's just easier to get. In terms of weed, like, yeah, like you had your dealers and stuff that you can get it from, your friends that knew where to get it. And then some people had medical marijuana, you know, prescriptions and stuff. But yeah, people will find it one way or the other, or will do drugs if they want to. It's just shadier ways. But I don't know, like, in terms of everything being legal, drug wise, I don't know what people would favor, you know? Like, what's the biggest sort of drug thing in Amsterdam? Yeah, some people will do drugs, the ones that don't won't do drugs. Yeah, valid. Depends on what type of person you are. True. You know, when you're, I suppose if you're in Amsterdam and all that stuff is legal there, like, I don't know. Like, I just, you know, as someone that has a very eclectic group of friends, I have friends that are even addicted to some pretty heavy drugs. I have friends that are addicted to meth and friends that are, you know, addicted to cocaine and, you know, people that were addicted and got clean. And so I've seen it all. But again, like, certain things were like, you know, like under the table, like they had their dealers and stuff. But it's just like a weird concept to me that they would sell like meth in a store. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like maybe in Amsterdam, well, I guess the red light district is one thing. You'll probably see it all in the red light district, but like, I can just see people like doing shrooms more often. You know, like hallucinogenics. Legal or not, still not doing it. I like having control of my mind and body. You know, I experimented a little bit with things here and there back in the day. Nothing like meth, but like, you know, party drugs in my raver days. And I don't know. I've never like had the desire to like really do things more often. I don't know. A lot of it was like, cool, I tried it. Moving on. Like, I don't know. I'm content with just like having a couple drinks and, you know, getting tipsy over like, you know, drugs. But no judgment from me either. And it's not a hard nope to like certain things. But it has to be like the right situation, right time. And it would be like a once a year kind of thing, if that at all. When legal, I don't think hard drugs are legal. In Amsterdam, though? That's what I'm wondering. Like, what is legal and what is not in Amsterdam? Felicia did say to Holly that after they find Ethan, they'll look for Victor. Okay, well, we're going to see that, I hope. I really hope that that story continues, but they just get, you know, they just get Liesel back so that we can wrap up the Michael and Willow stuff. Get her out of there and then bring Victor down. But yeah, let's bring back the topic to GH. We don't need this live stream like ending. Like, yeah, this is a GH thing and they're talking about Amsterdam and drugs. I'm surprised they haven't said where they are going on that boat. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'd think that Trina or Spencer would have heard something from someone. A worker or something. And, you know, Trina, up until, you know, the end of this episode, unfortunately, she had been lurking around for at least a day, right? So, like, surely she heard something about where they're going. But I am intrigued. I am intrigued to see where the storyline goes next. And, you know, I'm not super hopeful, but I hope that there's like a bit of a location shoot somewhere. I don't care if it's in California and they can convince me it's Venezuela somehow. Even them showing up to a dock, even them showing up in like a, you know, a sandy beach, as long as they don't show like, you know, the same kind of mountains they showed for the beaches in California or in Florida that were really in California. DC Soap Sanctuary, what's up? How you doing? DC, I want to know your stance. Like, what do you think of new Ethan? And how stoked were you for Tracy and Holly's returns? The conversation went weird for a while, not gonna lie, but we got on the topic of Tony Geary and Amsterdam, and then that got into the topic of drugs, and we're like, what's legal over there? And then we brought it back. So, welcome. We're normal again. Ooh, BDI Derek. Hey, yeah, what do I think about Robert and Diane's kiss? Yeah, we didn't even talk about that, did we? I don't hate it. Listen, I like Robert and Diane. They play well off of each other, the actors, Tristan and Carolyn. But it's weird timing because Holly's back again, and I really enjoyed Robert and Holly in Holly's last run. So I'm feeling some type of way. I don't hate it. I thought it was cute. I don't know. I obviously we know that Holly's not going to be back long term, so I'd be okay with Robert and Diane getting together down the line, but it's like knowing that we're gonna see Holly in Port Charles probably in the next little while. It's a weird, tricky situation to be in. Sandy, Victor is so disrespectful to the guards. They need to knock him out and let everybody go. Yeah, that dude's a pompous ass to his workers. You know, they're all a lot stronger than him and probably way younger than him too. They could take him. Hopefully they, you know, Spencer and Trina, I'm sure that they could be pretty convincing in turning his men around. If they see firsthand how Victor's treating them, they can use that to their advantage. Same with Obrecht. Thought Victor would have the best of the best being Ace's nanny. Yeah, you see his reaction to like crying Ace. He doesn't want anything to do with a baby. He was just like, ugh, just take it. You know? He'll want Ace again when he's old enough to like have a conversation. Jakari Ace said, I'm happy that Tracy is back. Oh, DC said, oh, you like new Ethan so far, but I hope all of this is for Luke's return because my patience is wearing out. But I love Tracy's return. Okay, what do you think of Jane Elliott's hair? Because I love it personally. Jane Elliott just seems so free and like so happy in herself. Angel, DC talked about incest yesterday, so do I want to know, DC? Do I want to know? Jakari Acer over the Holly character. I still love her. Sandy, you were jumping up and down for Robert and Diane. Pairing Here Comes Holly. Yeah, like I'm don't get me wrong, I am so down for Robert and Holly. Or Robert and Diane, sorry. But I loved Robert and Holly, and I'm sad because we know that she's never gonna come back long term, and the only way that Robert and Holly are gonna, you know, get together is if Robert leaves the show, and I don't want Robert to leave the show. So, but if he ever exits and retires, then I think I'm liking Robert and Diane for now, but I think Robert and Holly are endgame, and it should be. Okay, you're talking about characters from Guiding Light. Okay, so I know next to nothing about Guiding Light, to be honest. Were they an incest couple? The only times GH has kind of dived into incest was like when Lulu and Ethan kissed, but they were really just doing that because Lulu knew that he could be her brother possibly and wanted to get a reaction out of Tracy to get proof that she had rigged the DNA test to say that he wasn't Luke's son. And then I think a little bit almost with Kiki and Michael when they thought that Kiki was a Quartermain. Angel, I'm just happy to see Diane. Me too. I miss her being on, like, now she's definitely more regular, but for a long time she was just so, like, you know, brief appearance here and there. But I like that she's kind of taking the lead in the story again. I miss when Diane had story arcs, so it's nice to see her in one again. Love the hair. DC, you love her hair too. I mean, honestly, they gotta embrace the. That's what I'm saying. You know, like, I'm definitely like salt and pepper myself. And you know, I'm not gonna. I don't see me like letting that go. You know, like these be extensions. Okay, this ain't my real hair. My hair can't be doing that in real life, you guys. But my regular hair, like, I've not had any desire to dye it black or like dye it more black, you know what I mean? Lulu and Ethan kissed. Yeah, they kissed, but it literally it was about it literally was about Lulu knowing that Tracy possibly rigged a DNA test to say that Ethan wasn't Luke's son. And Lulu caught on to that, and she wanted to get that proof that Tracy rigged it. So she kissed Ethan in front of Tracy, and Tracy flipped out, which, you know, got her caught in the act. But I think before there was even, like, you know, any inkling that... Or, like, back when we didn't really know for sure if Ethan was Luke or Robert's, there were people shipping Ethan and Lulu and hoping that he was Robert's son. And, you know, to this day there are people that still hope that Ethan is actually Robert's son. Oh, you were talking about kissing cousins on Guiding Light, which were Johnny and Tammy. Speaking of Emmy, did you ever watch any other soaps besides GH? No, not really. Here and there I would watch like little bits and pieces of All My Children and little bits and pieces of what was it called? Was it Guiding Light? Maybe it was Guiding Light, but only on like YouTube clips and stuff. Like when they brought Angie and Jesse back to All My Children, there was a lot of fanfare towards it, so I would watch clips on YouTube back when it was easier to find clips on YouTube, just to see how they brought the character back and what the big deal was. And I liked some of it, but it wasn't enough to keep me to the soaps at any point. Angel, you said if you fell in love and married your long-lost brother but didn't know he was your brother, then would you stay with him, Dion? That's how yesterday went with DC? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think so. That would just freak me out. I'd be so, like... I think that would gross me out so much that I just wouldn't even be able to, like... even go there. I'd probably be disgusted. Like, not that we knew, but, like, this can't continue, I think would be my stance, and I would just dip. That would be so messed up. I'm sure that's probably happened in real life to some people. DC said, I honestly feel like characters like Diane and Epiphany should have been given front burner storylines. I agree. I really agree. Because Diane was so damn likable. She is so damn likable. Diane is a likable ass character, and Epiphany was a likable ass character. I wish that they had front burner storylines more often too. Because they rocked them whenever they were given more, you know what I mean? Your hair isn't naturally curly like that. Oh, I wish. Listen, Jerry curls? Hell no, it's not natural. I wish, man. I thought y'all knew. Because, like, just one day I had this hair, like, the day after. Having, like, short hair. DC said, I like that Jane Elliott is embracing her gray. Because, truth be told, people can't be nor look the same forever. Like Hollywood be having us embrace unrealistic standards at times. Yeah, that's why I have such respect for Jane. You know, and listen, there's nothing wrong with dyeing your hair and this and that. It is what it is, but you know, I think there's something. I feel like, generally speaking, if you're kind of, I mean, it's hard to say because I'm not an actor in Hollywood, and there's way more pressure there. But I think, generally speaking, the older people get, the less they care about certain things, and I think that's beautiful. I think that if you are embracing getting older, I find that the people that do embrace themselves getting older are like the most fun people to be around because they're so carefree, and they just nothing can seem to break them. You know what I mean? And I strive to be like that one day. And I don't have the desire to dye my hair a certain color. But Envy, don't you feel you may need a backup soap someday in case they cancel GH someday? No. No, listen, like if GH, well, because every show's gonna come to an end, really. But when GH gets canceled one day or ends or whatever, that'll just be it. Like it's not like I'm not gonna watch TV shows ever again, and who's to say I won't pick up another soap? But the reality is, like, soaps are kind of a dying breed. There's like 4 left in the States. But I have other favorite TV shows that aren't soaps. I have American Horror Story, and I used to review American Horror Story actually on this channel. And I don't know how I feel about the new season that's coming out, but we'll see. And I like 911. I could do, reviews on that if that show's still around. These are the only other two shows that I watch religiously, I find. 911 and American Horror Story. But soap-wise, I feel like I would somehow more so get into EastEnders in the UK than I would any of the other soaps. Because I've tried here and there with all of them at certain points, and I just... I don't know. Couldn't care. I guess ABC didn't greenlit Pine Valley. Oh yeah, I forgot that they were like looking into that, weren't they? I thought you got your curls to pop. Mm-mm. Nah, my hair is essentially like a mop of... It's just moppy. It used to be more like afro-y, but now it's just moppy. If GH gets canceled, you're done with soaps. That's kind of how I feel. Like I try bleeder soaps here and there every once in a while, and I tried YNR when Jason Thompson joined on because he's an Edmontonian just like me, but I just couldn't get into it. And then I had tried with One Life and All My Children, and to me, no offense to people that enjoyed the actors on there, but a lot of them were just cringe-worthy actors, in my opinion. I know it's ironic because like some of them are on GH now, but some of them aren't great. That's just how I feel. And I'm not listing which ones, okay? I mean, y'all know I don't... Yeah, the one that I was always completely honest about was Emmy Ryland. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But, I feel like, generally speaking, they probably... Because Mark Teschner is the casting director, right? He's always overall been really good at picking the best actors from the bunch of the other soaps. I just feel like something went wrong with Lulu. I don't know. Julie's hard to... Julie would be hard to, follow up with. Because Julie was like toe-to-toe with Tony and Jeannie, so... GH may get moved to Hulu. Anything can happen. Yeah, true. Why this again? Why what again? DC, you're a huge EastEnders and British soaps fan. I love that the UK seems to embrace soaps. They got the budget. I wish GH had the budget that EastEnders got, These look like primetime shows, and they're on 5 days a week over there. And actually, obviously I can't really watch... I don't have a channel that shows EastEnders, but a lot of people were uploading them on YouTube, and I was watching the clips religiously that I could catch. So you'd watch those reviews if you reviewed them. We'll see. It's just harder to track down EastEnders, There's only 3 soaps on air and 1 streaming. DC, you thought Emmy was better than Julie? No, listen, for me, anytime Emmy tried to, cry or, be angry, it just felt like watching, a ditzy blonde girl. And Lulu was not a ditzy blonde girl, you know what I mean? I thought the opposite, honestly, that Emmy played a much more immature Lulu. Yeah, we've seen Julie as teen Lulu, but Julie was growing up and becoming a more mature Lulu. So, I feel like they lost the character. I think, and this happens to a lot of recasts, honestly. But and in my opinion, I don't think that it should, but it does, and I think that it really did. In Emmy Ryland's case, they kind of erase what the original actor did with the character, and they play up to the strengths of the actor. And really, it should be the opposite. I don't think that characters should change as drastically as Lulu did, just because someone new is playing her. I think that they needed to find someone that could do what Julie did, and they failed miserably. And then what have they done with Lulu really since Emmys came on? They don't know what to do with her. They made her like suddenly a journalist, and like, and none of the things that they did with Lulu post Julie made sense for the character in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like, it was just so random. They lost. I don't know. They didn't seem to have a clue what to do with Lulu after Emmy came on. GH better step up on their 60th anniversary. I'm digging the Ice Princess storyline for the 60th. I think that the Nurses Ball was an epic fail, and that they shouldn't have focused on promoting the Nurses Ball so heavily, because it was like, in terms of like Nurses Balls from the last 10 years, the worst one, easily, which is unfortunate, because I thought they were going to go all out with how they were promoting the Nurses Ball, and how it was going to be the biggest and bestest thing ever, and you know what I mean? Nathan, you said, I do feel like Frank Valentini gets in the way of Mark Teschner's jobs at times. That I can see for sure. Hires people from the market, parking lot, etc. Yeah, Wes Ramsey, for starters. And yeah, I don't like... Yeah, it seems... I do think that Frank does a lot of stunt casting, or like forces Mark to do a lot of stunt casting. And that's not fair. There are other sites that air EastEnders, which is how I watch it. You watch your British shows before them? Okay, you're going to have to tell me what those sites are. Because I'd for sure, like, if I were to ever pick up a soap full-time beyond GH, it would be EastEnders, 100%. I haven't watched in a while, but there was a time where I was like watching religiously, at least when it came to certain characters. So I could see myself getting into EastEnders full time after GH, but I'd get into it part time for now. If you tell me where the website is. They had to put Lulu in a coma. Yeah, like, I think that's telling in itself, because, like, I feel like probably enough people complained about Emmy's Lulu that they comaed her, honestly. I'm convinced, because, like, you would have thought that they brought Dante on to reunite with Lulu, right? And they killed her off the second he got back. I think that says it all, really. And I don't know if they were just thinking that they might woo or lure Julie back, or if they had someone else in mind at maybe that didn't work out. But to bring Dante back and then, like, put Lulu in a coma, that's very telling, I think, into how they felt about, how the show felt about Emmy's Lulu. In my opinion. Of course, I'm just speculating, obviously, but, like, seems fishy to me. Seemed fishy to me at the time. Because they just dropped the character like nothing, you know what I mean? Like, where they could have easily just, like, had, like, a reunion story for Dante and Lulu and them finding their way back to each other, but they put her in a coma and stuck him with Sam. Something happened that we're not privy to. Nathan, you said I do like British soaps from time to time when I get the chance. Yeah, it really comes down to time. Like I said, I'm pretty busy to like take up too many TV shows just in like my regular life between my work and then like covering local musicians content and stuff. So I don't know. Right now I don't have time to really pick up a new soap full time. But who knows, if GH gets cancelled, maybe. All they had to write Lulu Spunky like was with Julie. But that's the thing. I think that I don't know. I don't know if they just thought that Emmy couldn't pull off Spunky, but they didn't seem to try. Or maybe they did and they were like, this isn't working, so we just got to change Lulu. Maybe they could put Drew in a coma. Brooklyn, you said that's how I feel with this Drew. Don't like him at all. Billy Miller was the best and original Drew. Yeah, I think ultimately with Billy Miller, I think there was some behind the scenes drama where things just weren't going well with him behind the scenes. And, you know, Kelly Monaco alluded to some drama that we weren't privy to, right? On like Twitter. So, I don't know. Something bad happened backstage. Yeah, I didn't understand why bring Dante back and have them say I love you, then unalive that teacher guy and put her in a coma. Yeah, see, like, something happened that we're obviously never going to know, really, but I don't know. To me, it felt really random. Like, there's no way they brought Dante back and thought, well, we're not going to put him with Lulu. You know what I mean? Like, that was like, I mean, Dominic Zampronia has been like with Lulu from the get-go. You know what I mean? Like, when he was undercover as Dominic, he was crushing on Lulu, and he's been with Lulu, and they got married and had a kid. Like So I don't know. There was just no way. I just can't see them, like, something happened. I think the plan was to reunite the characters, and something convinced the people that, like, Emmy could no longer be Lulu. I don't know if they plan on keeping her in this coma as long as they have been. Like honestly, like, maybe it's just wishful thinking on my part, but I feel like they were like holding out hope that they could lure Julie back. Otherwise, they would have just like randomly killed her off so like easily. Angel, you said I think Billy Miller wanted better storylines. He wanted Emmy-winning storylines, and he wasn't given that. Yeah, it's unfortunate because Billy was a good actor, and I think, I don't know, they could have done so much more with Drew. Hey, realistically, he got the shit end of the stick because Steve Burton wanted back into GH, and Jason was no longer his. And then for whatever reason, they just didn't decide to flesh out Drew's character, because they could have easily just given him Drew's memories back, right? And, you know, had the story arc of like him figuring out who he was back in the day and who he is now, and kind of morphing that and getting rid of Jason's memories altogether. But they just never did. Like, it was such a weird, unfair treatment for the character. Because that, you know, they had a clean slate, like right there in the ready for him, and they didn't give him that. And even now, a lot of it's still like up in the air as to like, does he still have Jason's memories? Does he still not remember who he was as Drew? Like, there's so much there that is left unanswered, and they just don't want to answer it. It's dumb. They could have just found a spunky blonde that can act. Like, yeesh. They wasted Dante. He shouldn't have come back. Yeah. Like the only thing I've liked him in really since the actor returned was his involvement in like the kind of the final bit of Mike's story. You know, when Mike died and Dante came back. The stuff with Sunny, I think, was good, and then like everything else has just been kind of mediocre. Damn right, Dante shouldn't have come back to GH. The man is being erased. I feel like they had a game plan for him, and then, you know, something went down behind the scenes where they decided to just like usher out 3 characters all at once, right? Because it was Dev, Dustin, and Lulu all were like brushed off. Billy wasn't going to get Emmy-winning storylines as Jason either. True, but I'm just saying, like they could have easily, once he became Drew, given him actual good material that literally could have written itself, and they just didn't for whatever reason. Because I think Billy's capable of getting Emmy-winning stories, and you know he was a good actor, but he wasn't Jason. He really wasn't Jason. But Drew, they could have made Drew anyone. They could have made Drew anyone. All right, y'all. But it's getting late. I was debating watching Eclipse, but I think it's too late now. It's 11:15 here where I am. So we'll save it for another day. But in the meantime, I will be back Sunday for a GHMV React. A General Hospital After Show. And possibly another live stream on that day. We'll see. We'll see. Stay tuned. But yeah. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you liked this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys this Sunday. Peace out. Mwah.